Well, well, well. Your final move just landed hard. They didn't see it coming, not even close. Oh, they thought they had you cornered, trapped, done. But nah, you flipped the whole game in one strike. The silence after. Deafening, uncomfortable, beautiful. Egos shattered, masks ripped, fake confidence exposed. And now, the entire crowd, shaking in fear. Every stare locked on you, every breath stuck. They can't process it, they can't deny it, they can't escape. Because what you just did, it wasn't luck. It was intelligence sharpened, patience weaponized, courage unleashed. And now the world has only one thought left. That's you. A mind so sharp, so precise, it leaves silence in its wake. People feel it the second you walk into a room. They don't even know why their chest tightens, why their voices lower, why their smiles turn nervous. But you know, oh you know, it's because your intelligence, it radiates, not in loud fireworks, not in desperate begging for attention, but in quiet force, a weight, an aura, and they feel it. They can't escape it. You've noticed it, haven't you? The way conversations shift when you speak, the way someone pauses a little longer after your words land, the way their eyes flicker, searching for cracks in your confidence, only to find none. That unsettles them. It leaves them restless at night thinking about you, replaying your words and realizing you saw something they couldn't. And that's terrifying, because most people live safely inside illusions. They want comfort, they want numbness, they want the predictable. But you, nah, you slice through illusions like paper. You see patterns where they see chaos. You see truth where they see distraction. And when they realize you're playing a different game entirely, oh wow, it shakes them to their core. They whisper about it when you're not there. They try to dress it up as compliments. You're unique, you're sharp, you're one of a kind. But you know the undertone. It's fear. Fear disguised as admiration. Fear masked as curiosity. And that's the thing about fear, it exposes people. It makes them reveal their insecurities. It makes them cram, searching for ways to pull you down to their level. Because deep down, they're not inspired by your gifts. They're unsettled by them. Your intelligence is a mirror. And when they look into it, they don't see you. They see everything they're lacking. Every wasted hour. Every empty word. Every forgotten chance. And it burns. That's why they flinch when you speak truth. That's why they try to laugh off your insight. That's why they pretend not to care, when in reality they can't stop thinking about it. But here's the brutal truth. Being gifted means being lonely. The higher your clarity, the fewer people you'll find at that level. That's the tax of being rare. And most will never understand the weight you carry. And yet, isn't it beautiful to be untouchable in thought, to move through a crowd knowing that no disguise can hide their weakness from your eyes, to hold the kind of power that doesn't need fists, doesn't need noise, just presence. Yeah, presence. That's what they fear most. The way you exist. But let me warn you, presence alone is not enough. Intelligence unused turns poisonous. It corrodes from the inside. If you don't sharpen it, channel it, and wield it, it becomes a burden instead of a weapon. And the world is filled with wasted brilliance minds that could have changed everything but drowned in their own hesitation. That's not you. That can't be you. Because when you step fully into your gift, when you claim it without apology, when you wield it without fear, then you become something they can't categorize, something they can't control, something unforgettable. And that is where the real story begins. Because the question is not whether you're intelligent. The question is, what happens when your intelligence becomes unstoppable? That's the curse and the blessing of intelligence. Once it becomes unstoppable, it doesn't just change you. It changes them. People don't measure your strength by your words. They measure it by the cracks it creates in their own confidence. And every time you step forward, someone else feels smaller. That's why fear creeps in. Not because you've harmed them, not because you've raised a fist, but because your very existence reminds them of what they aren't. And fear, oh wow, fear is loud. It doesn't sit quietly in the corner. It manifests in glances, in whispers, in strange laughter that doesn't quite reach the eyes. It pushes people into masks, into games, into little plots behind closed doors. They call it competition, they call it rivalry, but you can see through it. You know what it really is. It's panic. The truth is simple. People fear what they can't control. And when you walk in with that kind of mind, when you speak with clarity sharper than their excuses, they lose grip. They scramble for explanations. Arrogant, too much, thinks they're better. Nah, that's not it. That's never it. They're not angry because you think you're better. They're angry because deep down, they know you are. And that realization is unbearable. So they fight it. They'll try to discredit you. They'll twist your words. They'll smile while planting little seeds of doubt about you in others' minds. And yet behind those attempts, their eyes betray them. Because eyes don't lie, eyes reveal the storm. And you've seen it, haven't you? That flicker of unease when they realize they can't predict you. Fear is funny like that. It makes people defensive, but it also makes them obsessed. They can't look away. They'll say they dislike you, but they'll never stop watching. They'll claim they don't care, but they'll mimic your style, borrow your ideas, echo your thoughts in watered-down versions. Because fear doesn't just reject, it clings. And that's the strangest part. You're not just feared, you're studied. Every move you make, every choice you take, becomes a lesson for them. They pretend they're not paying attention, but when you're not in the room, your shadow still is. It leaves them conflicted. Admiration twisted into envy. Respect poisoned by resentment. They want to learn from you, but they don't want to admit it. They want to rise with you, but they hate being beneath you. And that is where the tension sharpens. Because once fear takes root, it grows into something heavier, something darker, something that shifts from whispers to resistance. Yeah, that's the turning point, when their fear stops being quiet and starts becoming strategy. When they realize they can't ignore you, so instead they'll try to contain you. They'll create walls, limits, barriers, hoping you'll stay inside, hoping your intelligence will cage itself. But intelligence like yours doesn't bow. It doesn't shrink. It doesn't ask for permission. It expands. It pushes. It breaks through. And every time it does, their fear grows louder, more desperate, more dangerous. Because here's the brutal reality. The higher your gift rises, the more resistance you'll face. Not less, more. Fear multiplies as you climb. And if you think the resistance you've seen so far is the peak, think again, because the next stage isn't whispers. The next stage is war. You think the real battle is outside, against the whispers, against the critics, against the ones plotting in the shadows. But that's just the surface, the deeper war. It happens inside, every single day, every single thought, because intelligence is a gift, but it's also a weight. You don't just see what is, you see what could be. You don't just notice patterns, you notice flaws. And the cruel twist is that sometimes you notice them in yourself first. That's the trap. The sharper your mind, the sharper your doubts. You question everything. You dissect your own steps. You replay your words. You wonder if you're moving fast enough, hard enough, strong enough. And in that silence, when no one else is around, that's when the real war begins. The war between clarity and hesitation, between vision and fear, between the voice that says you're built for more and the voice that whispers maybe you're not enough. Oh wow, it cuts deep, doesn't it? People think you're untouchable because they see the results. They see the strength. They see the way you stand, unbroken in public. But they don't see the nights when your mind won't stop turning. They don't see the weight pressing on your chest when you realize the cost of being rare. They don't see how exhausting it is to always be 10 steps ahead in a world that prefers to sleep. And that exhaustion, if you let it, it eats you. It whispers that maybe it's easier to dim the light, to silence yourself, to pretend you don't see as much as you do, to act small so others feel comfortable. Yeah, that's the temptation. To shrink, to step back, to trade authenticity for acceptance. But nah, that's not your path. That can't be your path. Because the war inside doesn't end by surrendering. It ends by sharpening. By choosing to turn your doubts into fuel. By recognizing that your mind will always wrestle with you, but that doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're alive. It means you care enough not to settle. The truth is, every great thinker, every rare spirit, every one-of-a-kind force has faced this same battle. The weight of isolation, the torment of self-questioning, the fear of carrying something too heavy for anyone else to understand. But the difference between those who crumble and those who rise is simple: how they handle the silence. Do you let the silence suffocate you? Or do you let it sculpt you? Because silence can break you, or it can build you. It can be the cage, or it can be the forge. And for someone like you, silence is meant to be fire, to burn away the weakness, to strip you down until only steel remains. Oh, and don't think the outside world doesn't know this. They sense it. They sense the war inside you. even if they can't name it. That's why they push. That's why they provoke. They're hoping the war will consume you, that you'll collapse before your gift fully blooms. But here's the twist. They don't realize that pressure doesn't destroy you. It tempers you. Every doubt you face, every night you question yourself, every voice that tries to weaken you, all of it is fuel. All of it is training. All of it is preparation for the moment you stop hesitating and start unleashing. And when that moment comes, the whispers will vanish. The critics will choke on their own words. The war will no longer be inside. It will be outside. And this time you won't just endure it, you'll command it. Yeah. They thought they could stop you. Nah! Every plan they made crushed under your mind. Every doubt they whispered exploded in silence. The crowd, shaking, trembling, eyes wide like wow. They see now, they finally see. You're untouchable. This isn't luck, this isn't chance. This is power refined. Every move calculated, every thought a weapon. And the best part? They'll never forget it. Never. Every second you walk away, their fear grows. Silently, painfully, you leave behind echoes of dominance, mastery, and brilliance. Because this is your world now. Own it, rule it, command it. And if anyone dares, let them feel it, all of it, fully, painful.